Howdy, IB. This is Miss Kosh. I wanted to show you a few things on your iPad that I think are going to be helpful for you in this class this year. I really wish we were sitting together in my room and learning math that way, but that is not the reality of the situation. So we're going to make do with the most, we're going to do the best we can with this situation. So a few things I want to show you. First of all, okay, in Schoology, what I intend to, oh dear, I don't know what that means. Okay, sorry. So what I wanted to show you here is, you'll notice we're going to have, they're telling us that we're going to have three categories: course information, parent information, and learning. I think I'm happy with the course information at this point. You'll notice that I have, here's a link to our math website. So this is what Mr. Vandershee and I have been working on. It's lovely. It's not exactly what you'll use this year because we need you to log into Schoology. That's how we're going to know if you are in class, basically, is how much time you spend on Schoology. So the advantage is, though, that I plan to keep this website up to date so that when you need to study my material next year, when you're in Mr. Vandershee's class, you may not be able to get into my Schoology, but you'll find everything you need on that website. Okay, I have a link to the calendar. Right now, this is one, I have one Schoology course that kind of uses both of my classes together because there's some things that you both do and some things that just one of you do. Anyway, so I don't know if I'll give you access to both calendars, but I wanted to show you that's how I plan to stay organized. The next thing is IB gives you a formula booklet, and typically in the past I would give it to my students on the very first day they walked in my door. I'd print it out and put it on blue paper and staple it and tell them, don't lose it, you lose it, it's your loss. And most tests and quizzes, they'd be allowed to use that formula booklet because that's the formula booklet that IB will give you the day you take your exam. I went ahead and took that. I pulled in the PDF into my Books app on my iPad, and so you'll notice it is full of formulas and equations and all sorts of glorious things. So the way they do it is they'll have like this one right here says it's SL and HL. So everything that SL does, HL is also required to do, but HL does a little bit more. So this, I can't wait to teach all this HL. It's super fun and crazy hard, and you're going to love it. This part too. So this will be fun. I can't wait. Okay. So you'll see through here, there's different formulas. Some might be things that you already know, but it's all in here. And so I want you to get used to using this. So I would download it into Books so you have access to it. When we finally see each other face to face, I may make you a copy. I haven't made them yet, so we'll see what happens, but this is a glorious thing to have. Okay, so the next thing, back to here, there's a huge document from IB that's the syllabus for our analysis and approaches classes. I posted it here in a spirit of full disclosure. I haven't read every word of it, so I don't know that you would, but I've read what I needed to, and I know anyway. So I've read the highlights, and I've been teaching IB as long as Coppell has had IB, so I kind of get the gist of it, whether or not I've read every word. The other thing that I did here is I put in some of the resources that I have for pre-cal, because there's definitely an overlap between both HL and SL and pre-cal. We don't do everything pre-cal does, and we definitely do some things that they don't do, but there is some overlap. Okay, the other thing that I'm leaning towards, I need to clean up this folder a little bit. Like my choice would be to group it by topic. The school is telling me I have to group it by week, so right now, anyway, I need to get some work done. So I've done a bit by topic. That seems to make more sense to me, but they didn't ask me. I mean, it's great. It's fine. I'll figure it out. But what I've done in here, so we're starting with, now I'm confused. Oh, maybe I moved it. Oh, I did. Okay. I was like, wait, we had to do sets and then Venn diagrams. Where did it go? Well, I already moved it. Okay. It'll be obvious. So when you come in here, sets and mathematical language, the way that I am going to have this set up is that you'll have a link to the Zoom. You'll have so the Zoom, then you'll have a watch complete, discuss. The discuss may not always happen, but it does in this case because I think it's relevant. Then there's something to practice and then something to submit. My thought right now is that I will figure out how much of the Schoology material you submitted the day of the test or quiz and use that as a part of a grade. So I'm still working out those details. But, okay, so on this one with the Zoom, you'll notice there's my 3 different IB courses that I teach. There's a link to each of the Zooms, and then after, so there's a link for HL, SL, and then SL. Then afterwards, I'll post the recorded Zoom right here. Then this will be for office hours before and after school. So, and that would be the link all year. Okay, so coming back on this one, so then what you do is we'll start with the Zoom, and then there's always going to be something for you to, you'll notice here's a copy of the blank notes. Okay, you could pull this then into Notability and then write on that. Where was I? Schoology. And then I have posted the videos that you need to watch. And then I've made I often will have an answer key for you as well. Okay, so that's the watch part. And then the next thing that you have to do is then you have to complete. So then I have I'm not sure what this is going to look like. Oh, okay. You have a 5-question quiz this time. And so you have to get 100. If you had watched the videos, you should be fine. It should be pretty straightforward. You have to get 100 to get the little check mark. Okay, and then this one has a discussion. They don't all, but this one does. Then you have a practice. And so I have some suggested problems. One thing I like to talk about is I like to give what I call fuzzy assignments. And so sometimes I may assign, I don't know, say I assign 10 problems that are pretty similar. Well, it's kind of, I think of this kind of like as shooting free throws. If you're missing a few of them, well then keep shooting until you're consistently making your free throws. So if I assign 10 problems and you're like, well, Miss Kosh, I learned this before, I already know what I'm doing, then jump to what appears to be the hardest. If you get it easily and get the right answer, then move on. Okay? If you don't, then practice enough so that you've built up that skill. Okay, so, and I often have keys posted for you. There you go. So it's there to help you. And then on this one, submit, I asked you to do something. Oh, okay, I wanted to see a particular problem. So submit that for me so that I know that you're working. It is important, I mentioned this, but it's really important that you do everything through Schoology because that's how the school and the state are going to know that you're in attendance. Okay, and that really the bottom line is Coppell will get money whether or not if you're here, and they won't get money if you're not. Okay, and so the only way for them to know if you're here is for you to log in and do this. And so in my folder currently, I have a bit that I've already put together, but I'm going to make it so that it only turns on the day that it's supposed to, so that you can't work ahead, so that you have to be present that day. So that's how that's going to work. Okay, what else? Okay, another thing I wanted to show you, if you don't already have the Desmos app downloaded on or pulled down from wherever onto your iPad, I would do that, okay? I think that that's very helpful. I have logged in. You'll notice it right up here. There's my name. You don't get to call me that. I'm Miss Kosh. Okay, so, but you'll notice, like, I have saved some graphs over the years. This was something we did in pre-cal. How fun is that? Rational function. This was part of the notes that we did with rational functions at some point. Here is, oh, isn't that lovely? Okay, so I have done different graphs and saved them, and so that's been really helpful for me to then refer back to it, to show people certain things, and to have it already planned ahead. It's not a bad idea for you as well. So get Desmos if you don't have it. Okay, what else? I pulled all these open to show you. Okay, YouTube. So I've been working on my YouTube channel, well, let's see, since 2012. So for a while, and almost 8 years. And I currently have, well, look at that, 46,000 views. So I have been building this and developing this over the last 8 years, and and not everything is perfect, but it's definitely there for you to learn and to take advantage of and all that kind of stuff. I have the last couple of years been working on getting the playlists in order. Okay, so it's by topic, and so when you come into one of those, oh, I love classical music. I play the cello, so that's that first one. So you'll notice some of them I put IB Math, some of them I said IB and Pre-Cal. That's been my focus the last few years, is IB and Pre-Cal. So what I would suggest, well, is subscribe, first of all, and then I would also say take advantage of this. When let's say we're in Lines and Planes, say I want to watch this. Let's assume, okay, I don't know that we really want to watch it right now, but what I'm going to recommend is that, okay, oh, it's up here. I always forget. If it's something that you think you're familiar with, or if you think I talk too fast or too slow, adjust the speed. Okay, if I talk too fast, which I have been told, then put me on half speed. Oh, where did it go? If I talk too slow, then put me on 1.5 speed. If it's something that, like we start the year talking about quadratics, and you're thinking, Ms. Kosh, I have been doing quadratics for years and years and years. I would encourage you then, put me on double speed so that you can dust off the cobwebs and then reintroduce yourself to the ideas and see if I say anything different than what you had learned in the past. Okay, I'm definitely expecting that you've watched every minute of my video, but that doesn't mean you have to watch me at normal speed. So watch me at double speed, and then if I say something different, then go back and put it back on normal speed and listen to it again and take notes on it and that sort of thing. But I would definitely take advantage of how we can speed that up and slow that down. Was there anything else I needed to tell you? I meant to hit this button. Okay, I tried to open up those things we talked about. I have pulled our textbook into my iBooks as well. Let's see if I can come back. Oh, I play cello, so there's some music. I don't remember what that was for. Okay, but I forgot how I got them. So I have the book in here, and that's a glorious, wonderful thing. But I'll have to do a little research and see if I can find a way for y'all to get the book there. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I'm excited for the year. I wish I could meet you face to face. Hopefully we can before too long. Take care, and let me know if you have any questions.